So linear programming versus non-linear programming, which one do you think produces a better result?
I think for health overall, mental health, physical health, emotional health, I'm just gonna make this clear right now. It's actually not bodybuilding versus CrossFit. I was thinking about it. It's like just isolation training versus just like GPP, just general physical preparedness. That if I need to run, I can run. If I need to row, I can row. If I need to lift, I can lift.
Yeah.
If I need to move, I can move. So the nonlinear programming that we're kind of doing now is almost like on the extreme end of there's like a little bit of competitiveness, but it's technically GPP. It's just general physical preparedness.
Yeah, but I would argue that most people need just the GPP work versus isolation training. But that's where you come to the point that like the GPP work requires skill and maybe it requires a little bit more intensity. It does require more intensity versus like isolation training. Anybody can go into a machine and be like, oh, these are the muscles I'm working. Oh, the swing arm moves like this, and I stick my leg in there and just lift. Oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, but I feel the intensity could still be there. Like you said, it will produce results.
But chances
if
are,
if you go to that like far end of 90-95% effort.
From working though in a commercial gym for like 5 years plus, I don't see many people who do isolation training to a high level of intensity where they actually are doing as much work. Like the box step over is just you hold weights, you step over a box and step down, turn around, step over and step down. Basic. Not a lot of technique required there. No. But anybody could say, you throw some weights in your hand and get them to step up and over that thing 20 times, it's going to be tough. Whereas if you sit them in a leg press and say, okay, do 3 sets of 10, 60-second break, I think you have to push way harder mentally in order to get the same effect of
step over.
The step over. It's like the leg press will be easier every time. So it's almost like you could do the step over with 60% effort and it's going to be hard. Whereas to get the same level
for you?
To get the same level of effort on the leg press, you'd have to push like 8 out of 9 intensity to get the same level of fatigue or the same level of like volume executed on the body, like nervous system wise as well. Like we talk about like what's most neurologically taxing, doing a leg press 3 sets of 10 or stepping over that box 20 times, even with light weight. What's going to be more neurologically taxing? Probably the step overs.
Well, because it's a movement versus just a push-pull. Right?
Yeah.
Or like just a push.
So the GPP work that you're talking about, I think, is what most people need, which would produce the best results. But you can do the GPP linear or non-linear. You could.
You could.
I think the difference between linear and non-linear, now that we talk about it, it's honestly what works best for the person, because I think some people need that structure where they can just go in and know what they're doing every single time.
And then you numbers they're gonna hit.
And then you get the OCD people who are like, I want new things. I get bored easy. Like, it's the same thing. Like, what's the best diet for you? It's the diet that you can follow. What's the best program you can follow? The one you can follow. I've done
the one you enjoy, I believe.
Yeah, the one you enjoy and the one that you can follow. I've done linear programs it's supposed to be a 6-week program, and I do it for 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh, I'm so bored. And then I'll like do a bro day, and then all of a sudden I'm doing a power day, and then I work out with you, and then I work out with Denza, and then I'm like, shit, I've been off this program. Now I either need to restart this program or I need
to not do it.
Or so that's been my whole gym life. I followed, a couple linear programs, then I work out with my friends and just kind of do random stuff for a while. And though when I break away from the programs that I did, I normally get a better result when I have a physical, tangible program in front of me.
I think everyone will. I think so.
Versus just playing. Working out with my friends, like this week was just play. I just played with you a little bit when we worked out. And the week before that, I was just playing. Yeah. When I was actually like focus intensity is when me and you sat down, built that 1 week together. Yeah. I went hard on that week. I was so excited, and I went hard, and I was like so.
Well, because it was for you.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what I mean.
It's not just a workout. It's like it's a workout with a thought of some of your weaknesses and some of your strengths in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was individualized and specific to me, and then I killed that week, and then I built the next week, and then I got sick, and now I'm kind of here again where I'm like, shit, what do I want? So I think linear versus non-linear, the biggest thing with them is it depends on the person and what works best for them in their mind. That's my closing thoughts. I don't know what you.
It's what works. I just feel like I think it's a part of that I want to talk about the topics like do you get I will get bored. Like right now with the things that I know now and the things that I know I can achieve, say playing around a little bit, there's still a thought process to my programming.
Yeah.
But I'd be so bored if I just had to.
But some people can get overwhelmed if they go in your program and they only see you once a week. And let's say you're not as open, not everybody's going to be as open as you are, being like, yo, come see me anytime, ask me any questions. Some people are going to be like, they're going to give people a nonlinear program like that and be like, yo, run it. They're going to have thrusters in it, but they can't even squat properly yet. So some people would benefit from doing some people need that 1 year of bodybuilding foundational stuff where they can kind of hone their skills down a little bit before they're like, now I want to challenge it. It's like the difference between going from crawling to running versus I can already kind of jog. Now I'm gonna run. It depends. It's very person specific. This whole conversation we're having is just extremely person specific because you're gonna get people that want the challenge, which in my opinion, the nonlinear program will offer more of a challenge because it's going to require greater knowledge. When I release
the learning
curve,
so much learning.
The learning curve is steeper. Whereas if I give you a 4-day program, as soon as you know those 4 days, you get to go for 4 to 6 weeks. Whereas every week on a nonlinear programming, you actually have to be more invested and more committed to actually learning and understanding. Not everybody's that invested. I've had clients who train with different trainers for years, and then I'm like, okay, we're gonna do a barbell front squat, and they're like, what's that again? And it's like, you should kind of know this. You should know this stuff by now. Or if you say anything, just movements in general, right? If I say a good morning, okay, you're gonna do a good morning for a warm up, and they're like, what's a good morning? Oh, and they're thinking oh, I should know this, and it's like, man, if you've been training with trainers for 3 to 4 to 5 years, you should. Yeah. In my eyes, you should be invested enough that you should kind of know those movements by now. It should just be clockwork.